2.5 years ago, I made a project video on how I painted our tile floor. And since then, I've received tons of comments and questions and requests for an update on how the paint has held up. So here's your update video. I'm gonna cover it all here. And by the way, this video is not sponsored. I'm just giving you my honest experience. If you'd like to check out the original tutorial video, I'll leave a link down in the description. As a quick recap, we bought a fixer-upper house and the entire downstairs has a very dated brown tile that no matter how much we cleaned, constantly looked dirty, and it's just not the aesthetic we wanted. We have plans to take out all of the tile and replace it with wood flooring, but we're not quite ready for that project. So when I found out we had the option to paint the tile, I thought it was a great solution to easily update the look and get us by for now. Okay, I'm gonna first jump right to the biggest questions, and those are, how has it held up and has it lasted? And I'm so happy to report that the answer is yes, it has lasted, it has held up very well, and I'm very impressed with the durability. I painted the majority of our downstairs floor, including many of our biggest high traffic areas, and the broad answer is it looks just like the day I painted it. This is our main entry and hallway, which sees a lot of our foot traffic, and honestly, there isn't a single scratch or blemish. The same with our living room, which also is a high traffic area. After 2.5 years, foot traffic just isn't a problem at all. Now, there are two small problem areas and some special circumstances contributed to the failure, and they both involve standing water. Here's the first spot. A hard plant pot got set here temporarily, which leaked some water. Turns out long periods of standing water caused the paint to bubble and lose strength. So the unnoticed water standing for a long time in combination with a scratchy plant pot is a good recipe for failure. By the way, stay tuned to the end. I'm gonna go over why I think the majority of the floor has held up so well, and I'm also gonna go over these two problem spots and show you how I'm gonna fix them and keep them from happening again. Okay, now let me show you the second problem spot, which brings up the second question, which is how does it do with dogs? We have a 65-pound Labrador, but we also have many rambunctious dog friends that often visit. I was worried that their nails would easily scratch the floor, but no matter how many zoomies have happened, I'm pleasantly surprised to see that not a single claw or dog toy has scratched the floor. With that being said, here is the second problem area. It again involves standing water, and that location is our dog's water bowl. Every time our dog drinks water, it is a reenactment of Niagara Falls, and that's a problem I know many of you big dog owners can understand. We try our best to keep this area dry, but sometimes water gets under her rubber mat and we don't see it and it doesn't dry out. And you can see that the paint will then lose strength, it peels and it comes up. So that's the only other problem spot in all of the floor. Again, stay tuned till the end and I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix it and also hopefully remedy the situation. Okay, now on the opposite side, temporary water on the floor is not a problem at all. And temporary water to me means trekking in rainwater on your boots or water from the pool on your feet from the backyard or mopping or small splashes from the sink or the shower or even a drink spill. The paint definitely isn't waterproof, but as long as the water or moisture isn't sitting on the floor for hours and hours, it doesn't affect the paint at all. I've also been asked a lot if you can use this paint in a shower, and that answer is no. However, Rust-Oleum does have a very similar product that is intended for showers and very wet areas. Okay, and that leads us to the next question, which is how do you clean it and how does it hold up to cleaning? We have found no issues cleaning the painted floor at all. We mop regularly, we actually even steam clean often, and it has zero effect on the floor. Again, as long as water isn't standing for long periods, it's good. We also haven't found that any of our cleaning products hurt it. Nothing we have ever used has bothered the floor at all. If you have experience with this paint and you know of any cleaning methods or cleaning products that haven't worked out well for you, please share that down below in the comments. Another question I get a lot is what happens when you slide a chair or any furniture across the floor? I honestly had the same concern and I was really worried about this in the beginning. I was especially worried about our dining chairs sliding in and out multiple times a day. We were really gentle for a while, but of course normal life happens, people come over, furniture and chairs get moved, and I'm happy to report that there have been zero scratches from chairs or furniture. Once the paint fully cures, it's pretty darn durable. In my tutorial video, you see that I used Crud Cutter to really deep clean and degrease the floor in prep for the paint. And these are the exact instructions printed right on the back of the can by the manufacturer. So several people have commented that there are better methods for prep, but I followed the instructions to a T, and that's what I recommend because that worked out really well for me. Rust-Oleum suggests that the product's success really hinges on how well you prep the floor, and I totally believe that. So that's the method that I suggest. Okay, many people have asked about the paint and whether or not it has a strong odor, and I will say that it's definitely on the stronger side, but it's bearable and it doesn't last or linger at all. I've also been asked if you can paint a room in sections. Rust-Oleum recommends painting a whole room at once and keeping a wet edge. And all a wet edge means is not letting the paint dry in one patch before you start painting the section next to it. I actually did paint in sections in our living room because we needed a walkable pathway, but I can't see a difference in the sections at all. When you look at the whole floor, it just all looks the same. I will say though that I only did that for the painting portion. Remember that this is a two-step process, so for the clear top coat, I started at the back of the house and I painted everything at once, painting myself all the way out the front door. We planned an overnight trip so we could just leave the house and let the floor cure. If you're painting just one room at a time, like a bathroom or a laundry room, this process will be much easier for you because you can just paint yourself right out of the room and shut the door, stay off the floor while it cures. I want to also add that we really gave our paint time to cure, and we weren't hard on the floor for the first week while the floor ultimately cured. And I think that really helped the floor to be as durable as it has been. I've also been asked if the floor is slick after painting, and that answer is no. It honestly feels just like the floor felt before we painted. Okay, many people have some thoughts on the color that we chose. People seem to either love or hate the black, but honestly it just comes down to that is the color that we chose for our painted floor. You can definitely argue that it can show more dirt than other colors, but on the other hand, so can a light color. We maintain a clean floor by running our robot vacuum on a regular schedule, and between that and normal cleaning, dirt or even white dog hair isn't a problem at all. I've also heard some people say that the lighter colors can stain a little, so that's another bonus for the dark color. We haven't had that issue at all. And I mentioned this in the tutorial video, there are several colors to choose from, but it is my understanding that you can take the white paint to the paint desk and have it tinted to any color that you like. Okay, and as I promised, let's fix the floor. This isn't any mind-blowing fix, I just simply repainted it. And I think the ability to just repaint a problem area is one of the best things about this option of flooring because it's such an easy fix. Even though my scratch was relatively small, I actually repainted the entire single tile to help the scratch not stand out. I also did the same method for my dog's water bowl area. And to hopefully prevent any further problems, we're ditching the rubber mat because even though using it seems like a good idea, water too easily gets trapped under the mat. We're instead gonna use a towel that we switch out often. If you guys have any good fixes for how to keep a dog's water bowl area dry, please leave that info down in the comments below. So I want to remind you that this flooring for us is just a temporary fix until we can tear out the entire floor and replace all of the flooring. If you'd like an option that ultimately does better with dog water bowls, I would suggest a truly waterproof flooring option. So overall, the final update is I'm really glad I painted our tile. It's held up really well and it's much better for us to look at than the brown dated tiles that never looked clean. I definitely recommend it if you have flooring that you'd like to change on a budget with much less work and much less expensive than tearing out and replacing an entire floor. If you have any questions at all, please leave those below and I will do my best to answer. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you on the next project.